because that would kind of shed some light here, would really kind of help piece this together. But man, it just stinks to high heaven. With us is our
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another great Let's Talk Sports show. I am your host, Bodkins. I don't know what this guy's doing here, trying to come in and, I mean, Jesus, who knows what's happening on this show? But
Let's
your boy
hair,
is
Nick.
back.
Let's see the hair. Let me see the hair. Let's see the hair, Nick. Take off the hat. Take off the hat. Yeah, look at you. Look at you. Nick, I was talking about the Ohtani thing and reading some of the quotes from the Athletic article about it. We got some text messages.
Yeah, it's with me every Thursday. We have Mr. First Down. I will host the show. I'm just fucking with you.
For
Sam. You know
heaven's
that?
sake. Yeah. Anyway, but
you notice the numbers went up as soon as I popped on here. You know what I mean?
Hey, I get it. As my dog continues to go crazy in the background for probably a jackrabbit that's running through the backyard. I was reading all the stuff from the federal agents and things like that have really dug into this thing. They're really pushing this like Ohtani really didn't know about any of this, that his interpreter had this account and the agent had asked about it on a number of occasions and he was kind of told, mind your business, or whatever else. And nobody really dug into it. I don't know. Like, this guy has financial advisors that they're talking about in this article that wanted to know what was going on.
When this story first broke, I said this guy's being the fall guy. And today, hey, if he's not careful, he's going to have to go one-on-one with the Undertaker, baby. But I said this guy's the fall guy, and everything that we've heard today just makes it 1,001% more believable, right? That he is the fall guy.
Right.
I mean, first of all, how did we go from initially $4 million to $16 million? And, I think I made the joke in one of our chats that Ohtani can't be married, right? Because if you spend an extra $20, your wife is going to know where that $20 went. She's going to ask you if we went to the strip club. Comes to find out, Ohtani is married. Oh, so his wife knew because, you know what I mean? She ain't going to let $13 million just, that's not chump change. You know what I mean? Like
$16 million.
$16 million, yeah. So
were you listening during how many bets he placed?
Yeah, I got it right here. So total winning in bets, he did win $142 million.
That loss,
but he wagered 19 wages placed between December 2021 and January 2024. He placed 19,000 bets, and he lost $183 million.
Oh my gosh. Yikes.
What's 142 minus 183, Sam? That's like 40 minus 42 million.
I wasn't much for book learning back down here in Tennessee. I couldn't tell you. I'm too busy making Pappy's cough medicine in my backyard.
Yeah, that's about 40 million, roughly about 40. Lost a minus net of $40 million in bets.
Geez. More money than I'll ever see in my entire life, just flushed down a toilet. It's amazing to me. Absolutely amazing.
Anybody that doesn't believe that he is not the fall guy or cover, like, then you believe in like Santa and things like that.
Yeah. See, that's the problem is I just can't see past him not being the fall guy. And they're trying to push this narrative real hard and everything. It's either like one of two things. Like, one, they know he's guilty and they're trying to protect him, or two, they know he's guilty, so they're not pushing the investigation too hard.
The big thing was allegedly no bets on baseball, right? So
yeah, no bets on baseball. He just
allegedly.
He just has this account where he's siphoning off his endorsement money.
Yeah,
and it just stinks to high heaven. It's really, really bad. But just reading through it, I mean, the losses and it's just crazy. How could you?
How much? Yeah, well, he's even quoted, I think, in either a text message or something to the bookie. I'm really good at this gambling thing, ain't I?
Yeah, it is, and he even says, technically, I did steal from him. It's all over for me. like what? Is this a script? Like, do a heist movie? It's all over for me now.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
They're coming to get me, man. Get out of here.
The
you don't want any of this stuff, Dewey. You don't want any of this stuff.
Like, it's just wild. It's wild to me. That's a short period of time. 3 years. It's a lot of bets. I mean, how many?
Yeah.
I mean, what does he place in just? It's. And I get it. Like, gambling can become addiction. Like
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're just like, you know what? Was he just putting like crazy ass fucking parlays together? Like 20 games on? I'm betting every one of them, baby. 20 parlays, $1 million on this parlay. I don't know it'll be interesting. I want to see what the bets look like. And like I said, allegedly no baseball bets, but I don't believe that either. I don't believe any of it.
The average money he placed on a bet is $12,800. God,
$12,000.
Yeah, the average. Yeah, it's really crazy. Yeah, federal prison up to 30 years or more, which is it's just all coming apart. And I hope they still have that bank account for him when he gets out. You know.
Right.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's why Ohtani that's why Ohtani deferred all of his money. He's like, well, I'm going to defer my money so I don't spend it when my when this guy gets out. But it's crazy to me because if you look into this guy too, it was like he lied on his resume, allegedly said he did all this stuff, and then they look into it and they're like, oh, this isn't true at all. So like, how did this guy survive for 3 years and all this shit be fucking false?
I don't know. I
mean, I've lied on a resume before, you know what I mean, just to boost myself up a little bit, but not that bad. You know, I went to college and said I went to the college that I went to. I didn't fucking put a phony ass college down there.
So
now, I might have said I got straight A's and I didn't get straight A's, but you know what I mean?
Right. But Mr. Botkins, so you're not the Colossus of Clout? Is that what it is? I don't understand.
No, I'm not the Colossus of Clout, the Titan of Terror. The Titan of Terror.
That's right. The Great Bambino. I just reading through it, and I just don't think there's any way. Like, you cannot convince anyone. You couldn't convince me. They're definitely not convincing you that this isn't a ball job. There's just no way. And the way they're trying to present it, I will say this: The Athletic is like, oh, isn't that interesting? Huh? Yeah. Like, kind of like stringing you along for it. Like, we're all going for this ride together. So, yeah, it stinks to high heaven, but there's nothing you can do. How are your Cubs doing, Nick? I'm trying to find you.
We are doing well. The bullpen stinks.
Yeah.
So there's that. Bullpen's awful. We should have took 2 out of 3 from the Padres instead of we ended up losing 2 out of 3. I mean, I think Monday night I went to bed. We were doing a show doing the show, and I went to bed. You're up 6-0 going into the 6th. Yep. Wake up and we lose 8-6. How the fuck does that happen? That tells you how bad the bullpen is. You win game 2, and then Kyle Hendricks may no longer be the Kyle Hendricks that I'm used to. A guy who was a perennial Cy Young Award winner at one time. You know what I mean? He's just struggled, and it's still early. So we're 2 weeks into it. You know what I mean? Not to, I don't want to jump off the ship too early, but I don't want to either. But we didn't take 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers, so I don't really know how good we are.
Yeah, possible. Almost said Super Bowl. Possible World Series winner over the Braves, according to BetMGM Studios. So
the Dodgers, yeah,
they think that they're gonna.
Yeah, a lot of people do. It's still early. For
sure.
Sam, the draft is coming up soon. I think in 2 weeks' time. What's your? I know you are in on Alt still.
I'm still hanging with Alt. Maybe they change their mind if he's not there, but the one thing, and this is how I looked at it. Even let's just say Amy Armstrong, the owner, goes through a firing spree, right? At this point, if you have a guy like that as your cornerstone, your left tackle, then he'll be your left tackle for 12 or 13 years. Like, then you'll be set at left tackle for that long through multiple regimes if it comes to that or whatnot. I just want a good player. I just want a good player that's going to be there a while. And Alt seems to check all the boxes. So if he's there, I don't think they have a choice. I think they need to take him. So at this point, so far, everything I've read, everything I've consumed, everything that I've thought about is like, we're going to find out what Will Levis is made of. And you can't find out what he's made of if he's smashed like a pancake under defensive linemen all the time. So got to get the left tackle. That's all I see. That's all I think about.
Yeah, there was a rumor, and I can't find it now, that the Commanders offered for the number 1 pick, and it was. I was trying to find it to be exactly what that trade was, what it looked like. But the Bears pretty much said no thanks. Alan, Tanner's Royals have won 7 straight, outscored Houston. What is going on in Houston?
I don't know. They're bad. They have a no-no already this year, and they're bad. They're bad.
Yeah.
They're just I don't get it. Let's see. Okay. Ringer. Commanders. Presumed number 1 pick for Caleb Williams. Offer Cleveland. I'm trying to find it. Give me the numbers. Stop talking about it. Give me the numbers. Okay. Chicago's side continue building around fields. Oh, my gosh. Okay, now we got a whole article on the damn rumor. Just give me what they offered.
Yeah, what they offered. Greg says he thinks the Chargers take Alt. You guys pick before or after the Chargers?
We are after the Chargers. And if they do, Craig, they could trade out or they'll grab Neighbors if he's there. So.
Yeah, I think the Chargers, the way you hear Jim Harbaugh talk, they want offensive line. Now, everybody think, you know what I mean? Like, that's the great thing about Jim Harbaugh is the media wants you to build a team from outside in, right? But football heads know you got to build from the inside out. And you got to have a good offensive line and a good defensive line. And he knows that Jim Harbaugh knows that. I mean, so Alan is saying they offered 4 first-round picks or something like that is what I've read too.
Yeah, 4 first-round picks. Yeah, 4 first-round picks and possible second and thirds the year after that.
And they said no. Bears said no. They must be in love with Caleb Williams.
I guess. Boy, they're just.
Craig, I don't know if you're still on, Craig, but I know you're a Bears fan, obviously. Your thought on the Bears passing 4 first-round picks in a couple seconds, if you want to put it in the comments.
Are they? Are we gonna get our song started? Are they bringing on the heartache? Is that what they're doing right now? Because it certainly feels like they're bringing on the heartache. So I think what is it that you told me that when you've talked to Bears fans, they're like, if you draft Caleb Williams, it's going to suck. If you stick with Fields, it's going to suck. Like there's just no.
Yeah. If you draft Caleb Williams, he's going to be a bust. And then if you don't draft Caleb Williams, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. That's just Bears fandom in a nutshell for their quarterback situation. And I mean, the pressure is going to be on that kid because they're fully loaded. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen. Right. Sweat, or not Sweat, but Swift. I mean, and they got Montez Sweat on the defensive side. The defense is pretty stout too. So like, the pressure will be on Caleb and it'll be on the coach. If it doesn't work, the coach will be fired. They'll bring it in. Caleb. It'll be the repeat system of Justin Fields. Lame duck coach. You go in the season with lame duck coach, doesn't work out. Fire, new coordinator, new coach, same quarterback over and over again. We were talking about Ohtani and the gambling, so why not bring in our own Mr. Gambler, our Hall of Famer, Scott Cobe. Scott, I know you're a big gambler, but have you seen, Sam, tell him the number again, how many bets on average Mr. Ohtani's interpreter was?
I'll tell you on my new Chromebook. Happy birthday to your boy.
Happy birthday.
Thanks. It's Sunday, but you get stuff early because nobody wants to visit you on Sunday. It's a school night. All right, let's see.
You get my most visitors at the old folks' home is on Sunday.
Yeah.
Don't say these things. I'm trying to look up stuff. Okay. Hold on. I was on a different page. Here we go. Okay. He has made 25 bets a day between December 2021 through January 2024. On an average, the average bet, the average cash, $12,800 is the average. His
Scott, you
total,
betting that much? You betting that much, Scott?
I found it hard to get 8 bets in. Never mind 25. Jesus Christ! Shohei's
So
got
Craig's saying that the report was 2 firsts along with a pick swap this year. I think if I'm probably the Bears, I'm probably taking my risk on Caleb Williams then.
yeah, I think at that point.
Yeah,
But that's Scott, and then you missed it earlier. I laid this out too, Scott. Listen to this. So winning bets, he won a total of 142 million. Right, not bad.
Yep.
But wagers placed between December 21st and January 2024, so roughly 2 years. 19,000 bets. And then, but he lost 183 million.
Ladies and gentlemen,
which is he lost about $40 million. If you take away his
the losses altogether are $182 million, 935,200.
Yeah, but he won 142 million. So you subtract the winnings minus the negative, you get about 40.
I know. It's just that number. God dang! Like,
so you're making 10,000 bets a year.
You placed 19,000 bets.
You're basically placing 30 bets a day, on average.
And what maybe a little more. Sam said the money amount too. The money amount was like $12,000 per bet.
$12,800 on average is the per bet. Yeah.
The books shut you down eventually.
Not if they're offshore. Not if they're offshore. So if the Commanders have done
South Korea.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah, I didn't realize. I didn't think about that, but
he's not betting on FanDuel and DraftKings, Scott, because it's in California, so it's illegal. So everything's offshore.
But how long has Shohei been in America? 6 years, 7 years, something like that.
Yeah.
So, wow,
thanks, Alexa.
It just boggles my mind what money Shohei lost on his bets. Because it was Shohei. Half of these bets had to be Shohei.
I mean, that's what we said, Scott. There's no way it wasn't him. Like,
right.
I know what the way they're trying to spin it. But there's like I said this in a group chat too. Like, if I didn't know if Shohei was married because I was like, clearly he's not married, right? Because Scott, you're married. If $20 goes missing out of your account, mysteriously your wife's hounding your ass, wondering where the hell this $20 went. You know what I mean? Yep. And I was like, clearly Shohei's not married. Come to find out, he's married. Oh, so she knew how much money he was spending.
Yeah. So here's that new car, ma'am. Oh, thank you.
So first of all, there'll be a big fat check waiting for this guy when he gets out of jail. Totally. If he even serves any jail time at all. He may serve house arrest, which means he can't go out of his house. Obviously, it's possible. I mean, I don't think they're going to want to take up room in a jail for a convicted gambler, so to speak.
That's true.
So they may put him on the house arrest, but Shohei has got to have a check waiting for him when he's done with all this. Because
he probably already gave him a check.
Yeah, he probably already gave him a check. This guy bailed his ass out by admitting that he gambled, and he cleared Shohei of all wrongdoing. So that's my overriding point is how much was the interpreter, and how much was Shohei, and did his wife do any betting? Is she a bet?
Well, they allegedly no bets on baseball. Allegedly. I don't believe it.
Allegedly. Let's go back and look at the Angels the last 5 years and see what strange games have occurred.
Ohtani was playing or pitching, or you know what I mean. You could, and I'm sure there is people have already done that. In fact, I've seen a few TikToks out there that people have done deep dives into that shit. So
I mean, Shohei is not clean in all this. There is bets that can't be traced to him that he made. Or he told his interpreter, hey, whatever his name is, hey, can you place this bet for me? You don't make that much money. Somebody is not in not having any dealings. You got money guys and things like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
the article points that out. He had like 8 financial people. And,
hey, Shohei, where's this money at? Now don't worry about it.
Hey, mind your business. Okay.
I mean, when
mind your business.
If it's $1,000 with all his money, I kind of understand him not finding out where the money went.
$13 million, not $13
millions of dollars. And Shohei doesn't know where his money. Where's he doesn't know where his money's going? Come on.
What's he got? What's that? DuckTales doc? The guy he just got a pot full of gold.
Yeah, he just dives into it every day.
The interpreter just dives in there and takes some money. Shohei don't know what's in there. You don't know.
Plus, the guy gets fired by the Dodgers, and him and Shohei are laughing it up after he gets fired.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
The day they report, yeah.
There's something strange going on with this. Something
strange going on in the neighborhood. And allegedly, this guy did not have. They checked his resume, like all the stuff on his resume where he went to college is all bullshit. I call it like it's all. It's.
He grew up with Shohei. He grew up with Shohei. Shohei said, "I'm going to America to play baseball. Why don't you come with me and be my interpreter?" And the guy said, "Okay, I have nothing else to do. Okay." And that's probably how he got his job with Shohei. Well, Shohei just said to him, "Come on, we're going to America. You know, I'll pay you thousands of dollars." This guy does not have that kind of money to bet, obviously. So Shohei is implicit in all of this, but now he's not. So
yeah, Alan says between this and what's going on in Oakland, the fact that MLB isn't being heavily scrutinized right now. Yeah, I would say that too, Alan. But the thing of it is baseball, like in the major sports, baseball's probably number 4 right now. You know what I mean? Like it's football is king. Then you had March Madness kind of going on right now. You know, the NBA playoffs, like baseball. While baseball started, to me, it's probably the 4th biggest. You know what I mean? Right now, you know.
Yeah, because the season just started and it's a long 162 games. There's not the only people paying attention are the diehards like you, Nick, me with the Red Sox. Sam with the Guardians, Alan with the Rangers. I mean, Jonathan with the Braves. I mean, that's
just all of baseball, because he just
all of baseball too. Yeah. So it's just the diehards right now that are just paying attention. Everybody else is like, we'll pick it up in July.
Yeah, and it's not even. It's just the news set. You know what I mean? Like ESPN's they're just NFL Network plus really. You know what I mean? Like they're going to talk football all the time because football's king, and they talk a little bit obviously the basketball stuff, but they haven't really hit on a whole lot of the baseball and the Ohtani stuff either. Now, it'll be interesting. I'm sure they'll talk about it tomorrow, but the Oakland thing, Oakland happened to play in a minor league stadium and all that. Nobody definitely cares about that in any sort of media.
No, what are the Oakland A's, like 3-12 right now or something? So nobody.
They won today. I think they won today.
Oh, they did. Holy jeez!
But the next 2 years they're supposed to play in Sacramento in a minor league ballpark.
10,000 seats, and they won't sell it out. They won't sell it out.
I mean, that's what happens when you put a minor. It's fitting that they're playing in a minor league park because they're a minor league team.
Yeah. But here's the thing. So I'd say the middle of next week, ESPN and all these networks, heavy draft coverage because NFL drafts 2 weeks from now. Heavy. So
we already talked about it. Kuiper's already leaving out his, mock draft 5.0 and everybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Here's my mock draft 26.3 for you people to dissect.
Alan says the A's are 6-8 right now. Hey, 2 games below 500. Good for the A's.
Ooh. A's could be in the playoffs.
5-8. He said 5-8. 3 games below 5. This is the best they'll be all season. 3 games below 500.
Yep, no doubt. So yeah, I mean, nobody's paying attention. I mean, the Shohei News probably got top billing for one Sports Center show, but it's probably gone away now. So it's probably not even. Nobody remembers it. So yeah, baseball is 4th, possibly even 5th. So
yeah. I mean, Alan says Kuiper's got Dallas taking a QB. Yeah, I think so. Alan, they got to have a QB for the future. Dak's going in with his last year in his contract. Like you gotta have for the future because I think this is just like we saw the last variation of the Bills last season. You could see the very last variation of the Cowboys this season.
Hey, but they're going all in. Come on, they're going all in.
Yeah, all in.
I mean,
tell me who their running back is right now.
I mean, here's the deal with that.
Just a guy.
He can go out on the market, and there's a team that I'm very familiar with that I'm a fan of that is going to have the most cap room next year. They could pay the guy $50 to $60 million a year, and if Dallas doesn't match that, I don't know if he goes back to Dallas. I don't know.
I don't know if Dallas will bring him back. I mean, Mike McCarthy would probably be fired. You know what I mean? We say that. We said that this time 365 days ago. We said the exact same thing. You know what I mean? McCarthy's probably going to, and then we all had him fired halfway through that Packers game in the playoffs. Like, this is, Mike will be fired by Monday, or
But
Jerry
the thing is, the Cowboys are now number 2 or 3 in their own state. Houston's way ahead of them now.
Until Dallas finds the Kansas City Chiefs, right?
Yeah. Until the Chiefs. Welcome back to the Chiefs.
Nick,
this is Jerry's worst nightmare.
Oh yeah,
this is Jerry Jones' worst nightmare. The Houston Texans now passed me by. You should have signed Dak last year to a long-term extension.
I mean, Jerry will have that mayor killed before the Chiefs come to Dallas, right? Like,
Totally.
He stopped them from coming to Dallas, and then they go to San Antonio. Just he's like, damn it.
All the talk of Jerry being desperate to win a title, that was all lip service because he doesn't seem like he's very desperate to win one.
No,
sorry, Cowboys fans.
You were going to say you forgot to ask me something.
Yeah, you're playing a game in Brazil, right, to start the season.
Against the Eagles.
Eagles.
Do you have any thoughts about that or anything, or are you just like, it's okay?
I haven't. Was that supposed to be a game at Lambeau or a game at Philly? That's what I need to know.
Game at Philly, since Philly was announced first, so I think it was at Philly.
Okay, then I'm okay with it. I'm not really okay with it. I don't like international games. I get why the NFL's doing it, but I don't like it as far as even as a fan. I don't like it for the players.
Yeah.
It's a lot of travel to play on a Friday, and then I guess you got you got the travel back. Then we play the following Sunday. Not a fan of it.
Yeah, you're basically cutting 1 week of training camp out to fly to Brazil and to get ready for game 1. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, to be honest. So,
poor Allen, man. Woo.
But I'm not a huge fan of it. I get why they do it. They're trying to grow the game, right? But I think that shit should be done during preseason. You want to go to every country, all 32 NFL teams can play all their preseason games, other than the Hall of Fame game in another country for all I care. But I feel like the regular season should be played at the home, like the fans. The season ticket holders, like all those guys buy money, especially for Green Bay. Like Green Bay, their home games should just remain in Lambeau Field because it's that community depends on those 8 home games. Everything else. So like, I hate the fact that I don't like it for any team. I mean, Jacksonville, I didn't really get Jacksonville because, the owner Tony Khan wants to have them in London, but I don't like it. It is what it is, but will I watch 1,001%, right? It's open. So is that going to be, opening night's going to be Thursday, the Chiefs and possibly I've heard the Texans and then
Chiefs Thursday night, Packers, but it's only on Peacock. It's not on regular TV.
The Packers game's only on the cock.
Only on the cock because
right on it.
Yep. So my feeling is every week of the NFL season, since now they're doing game 1 in Brazil, they're going to have an international game someplace eventually.
Yeah, probably so.
It's coming.
Yeah, probably.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's almost damn near like that. It's almost. I don't mind the London game so much because it's nice to wake up Sunday morning. You already got the game on, but I still don't like it. You know what I mean? Alan, rough week for people named Common.
Ain't that the truth?
Oh my God. Yeah, that wasn't very pretty last night.
I didn't even watch it, and I woke up and I had all these updates.
I saw it on someone's definitely catching VD in Brazil. Amen to that, just fans. I mean,
well, I got an article pulled up on my other laptop, and it says the Packers have one problem: how to figure out how to get there.
Yeah,
so they're going to have to take 2 or 3
So that's another issue. So Mike Murphy, the CEO of Green Bay, small town, small runway, right? They do not have. So to get to Brazil, they got to fly. They got to fly or take a bus to Milwaukee, and then fly to another. I think maybe another place before they go to Brazil. So they got like 2 or 3 stops just to get to Brazil. Like that's why he was like, "Hey,
on Monday to get there for Friday."
Like that's what they were saying. Like it's a disadvantage for us. Like small market, small runway. We can't fit in a huge 747 to fly to Brazil.
So what the article is saying is their concern is that they'll likely won't be able to fly directly to South America.
Yeah. No, they won't be able to. They already know that.
Yeah, they got to schedule a layover someplace.
Yeah.
So it's going to take them 2 days to get to the game 1 of the NFL. Oh my God! Come on, NFL! What are you doing? What are you doing?
You might as well just go Monday, the Monday before, right? And then you're in Brazil the 4 days prior.
I agree with you. Play the last preseason game, Packers-Eagles in Brazil.
Yeah.
And then schedule Packers-Eagles for later in the season where they've had some games under there and the familiarity's kind of – it's not gone away, but it's kind of lessened. But instead, you're opening up – the Eagles have a definite advantage now because the Packers have to go through hell and high water just to get to Brazil for game 1, while the Eagles are probably going to be sitting there saying, where the hell are the Packers? We don't see any.
We're still stuck in Milwaukee, Scott. I'm not a huge fan of it.
I'm not a huge fan of this either. Brazil, you couldn't play someplace else. You couldn't find another place to play.
Yeah,
Brazil. I mean, what market do you want to grow in Brazil?
I don't know. I mean, I guess to get a game in Brazil, I don't understand it. I don't know how hungry that country is for for football, right? Like we know that they are. Football, soccer, dominated. They're MMA, that type of stuff. But man,
it's crazy just to think of what the NFL is now going through. So Goodell said, I've heard in the recent past, is he's going to try to hit every country for an NFL regular season game before his tenure is up.
14. So Carlos is saying 14, 15-hour flight.
Yeah, which you can't do in one. You almost can't do that in one day. I mean, you got to stop. As you said, you got to stop, start, stop, stop. I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing, Roger Goodell?
Yeah, I don't like it. I mean, I understand why, right? Like, I understand that it's money, right? It's all everything's driven by money. And they're trying to grow the game. They think, blah blah blah. But I don't know.
The thing not having this foresight is alarming.
Well, the other talk was it was all Browns. It was going to be the Browns and the Eagles in Brazil opening week up until about 4 days ago, and then they announced it's the Packers. I mean, Cleveland could have got there much easier than Green Bay. I mean, just make it easy on these teams. Why
not like a team from the South, right? And I'm just thinking like the Dallas or somebody like that.
Yeah. Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta, the Panthers. Nobody wants to see the Panthers play in America. Send them to Brazil. Opening week.
They don't want to send them to Brazil because then they'll be like, this shit sucks.
Love you too, Jets fans. Thanks.
Yeah, Brazil government will call Goodell and say, we don't want you anymore. Go away.
Don't have to bring that shit here again.
They're actively, they have like 18 voicemails waiting for them. Hey, it's us again. We don't really want to
What the hell is that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Carolina.
Okay, if they come
we
down.
give you guys Pele and you give us this shit.
Carolina and the Patriots played the first regular season game, ended up being like 9-7, 5 field goals in the game. Brazil's like, what is this? What is this? Come on.
Jerry won't play anywhere but Mexico.
Jerry's all in on Mexico. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we don't even know what the field is going to be like. Remember, didn't they were supposed to play a couple years ago? Chiefs Rams were supposed to play, and they couldn't play there on a Monday night. Yeah.
No.
It happened in the LA Coliseum. That was that high scoring-est game, right? Wasn't that high scoring game?
51-45. Yeah, that was. Yeah, that was, which was a great game. Hey, by the way, the Just Fans people, you have to do your podcast or your show in Mexican the week of that game.
Spanish.
You have to do all your show in Spanish And Sam wants to be a guest so he can talk Spanish too. So
How you guys doing? Mi amor.
Si habla español.
Yeah.
Yeah.
El baño. Aquí.
I get mistaken all the time for Hispanic descent. Not that's a honky from Missouri, my friends.
Have you guys talked about the biggest story today?
Is that your
Hey, check this. Kentucky is targeting BYU coach Mark Pope to be the school's next coach. Who the fuck is that?
That's because Drew turned him down today. He said he was staying at Baylor. Billy Donovan said there ain't no way he's going back to college again. He's all bulls.
Damn it!
So and they probably reached out to Danny Hurley at UConn, and Danny Hurley said, no, don't want that either.
Why would you go there? If you're Danny Hurley, why would you leave UConn to go to Kentucky?
That's right. Because they'd offer him $12 to $15 million a year.
UConn will probably he's building a dominant program for the next 5 decade. Hurley is it.
So every big name coach that Kentucky's gone after has said, no, thanks. I'm happy where I am. I'm not going to Kentucky. So
and they go get the beat. Like how long? I'm gonna put the over 2.5 seasons, Scott, for him.
I take the under on that. I think if they go out and they don't make the tournament next year, I think.
Oh my God! I'm definitely not coming on the show if you wear the hat. I won't be able to do it.
Make America great again.
Yeah, I mean, Kentucky's stabbing for a Final Four. If they don't get to the Final Four in this guy's first 2 years,
he's gone.
See you later.
Yeah. I give it 2.5 years. I put the over under, and I probably take the under. It's not like BYU was a top. They
lost in the first round in the tournament when they were supposed to win.
Why not Mark Few? Like Mark Few would have made sense. You know what I mean? Take on at Mark Few, because he's been at Gonzaga.
He's Mr. Gonzaga, so he's not going to leave. I didn't. If this guy from BYU turns him down, I have no idea where they're going for this. It
job. Sounds like Sam will say it's a deal here. So pretty much.
Yeah, no coach wants to deal with the pressure of Kentucky. That's the whole thing.
No.
I mean, if Calipari leaves, then
and that's the thing. Is like. I was reading. They said there's been 2 guys really for that Kentucky job that have been able to withstand it. One was Rick Pitino. The other guy's been John Calipari to be able to handle both, and they pretty much ran John Calipari out of town.
Yeah, I mean, so from what I understand, the story is the Arkansas AD called Calipari for names. And Calipari said to the Arkansas AD, "This is a really good job, anybody." And the Arkansas AD was like, "Hey, John, do you want the job?" And Calipari was like, "Who, me?" And the AD said, "Yeah, we'll pay you $7 to $8 million to come and be our coach." And I guess the next day he called him back and said, "I'm in." So that's what happened. Wow. He called to get names, and the AD said to him, "Do you want the job because you seem to like it?" And Calipari was like, "Give me 24 hours," and he called him back and said, "I'll take the job."
So they were calling John Calipari for like references.
Yes. Right. Yep.
Boy, that transfer portal is going to be mighty full.
It's already. Guys are already decommitted from Kentucky and going.
There's 2 guys in Arkansas right now on the team. 2 guys.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, they have. I have a good friend of mine on the that is a big. They had one guy. He showed me a picture. He's like only guy on Arkansas's roster when John Calipari gets here. I was like, well, don't worry. He's about to get about 5-star recruits, and you'll be humming.
He's about to hit the transfer portal and get about 9 guys out of the transfer portal to come to Arkansas.
Yeah.
Because the best thing he can do is sell his program. He's number 1 in the country in my book in that. Selling programs, and he'll sell it to death, and he'll get guys in.
And that's the thing where he can sell. He can sell the. You know what I mean? Like, you guys play for him because you're guaranteed to go to the NBA. He's got so many guys that are playing the NBA, the league. That so he can sell them that, man. Like you come play for me, you're going to go to the league.
Yeah. His contract is he makes $500,000 if they make the tournament. He makes $1 million if they make Sweet 16.
Wow.
I mean, he's got such incentives that he can get to easily without problem. So the $7 million could turn into $12 million like that.
Wow.
So, but you only have one player on your roster right now. So good luck with that.
That'll change.
Wait till he goes to Kentucky. Wait till he goes to Kentucky and has to play at Kentucky in the regular season next year.
Oh yeah, because in the SEC, man, that's good. That place is gonna be real loud.
Oh yeah. They're gonna be booing his ass out of
That's
the
gonna be a
arena.
must watch. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no question about it.
All those fans that said he would never leave. He would never leave.
Well, a lot of the same fans that said he never leave wanted. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But like I said, I Kentucky fans always make me eye roll anyway, because it's.
I said it on this very program when I think it was early in this midseason. I said, for all you Kentucky fans that want John Calipari, tell me who you're going to get that's better.
That's right. That's right. And now look at what's going on.
Look at you. Now look at you.
Look at you. Look at you.
Look at you now, boy. Look at you now, boy.
Why don't you get Dwayne Johnson to come in and coach your team?
Look at you now. After every basket Arkansas makes, that should be the.
Look at you now, boy.
Look at you now, boy.
Throwing trash cans at him. Look at you now.
In practice, they miss a 3-pointer. He makes them run 2 laps. All he keeps saying is he passes.
Hey, is that your mom in the audience? He's got the belt, you know.
Look at you now, boy. This is Mama. This is Mama Johnson.
Yeah.
Next day, Dwayne Johnson's been fired. The allegations of beating players.
I do want to hit on before we get into our top 10 list of the evening real quick. The AEW video last night. So they aired this CM Punk video. Did them absolutely no favors. I can't wait to talk to Jim about it. It was bad as it. I don't even think CM Punk did. CM Punk went on Ariel Helwani. Thing that he said in that video, said in that interview, pretty much transcribed on that video. And at what point in time did TK ever feel fearful for his life? Because I could never figure that point out in that video.
Was he ever on camera?
No, you don't see him. Allegedly, he's in that tent. You know how he lunges in that tent, and I think he's yelling. CM Punk said he told TK at that point in time, like, I quit. I'm fucking done here. And then he went and had the match with Samoa Joe to honor the fans and Samoa Joe because, you know, he's like,
supposedly there was a hand that came in the video. I watched it. I didn't watch. That was Tony Khan's hand fixing the camera. But other than that, you didn't see him. I don't know. No. I don't know how. I don't know what they want to see him Punk out in the worst way and did anything they could. Supposedly this is all the Jack Perry reemergence in AEW for Dynasty. That's what this is.
Hey,
it was also to drive interest into FTR and the Bucks, to say the Bucks are trying to say we were distracted in that match because of this. Yep. But like, you need that. Like, you could have just been like, we lost and we're gonna get them this time. You know what I mean? Because like, we just believe we're better. Like, you could just sell the Bucks and FTR just in the ring. We don't need anything because they're the two of the best tag teams on the earth. Like, you know.
Yeah.
So
here's the other thing I'll say. Dave Meltzer was on a program on YouTube. He's lost his mind. Dave Meltzer was talking about the 90s and how this would work in the 90s. Well, and the host was like, Dave, this is not the 90s. This is 2024. And then he kept going back to it.
Yeah.
Right.
Come on, Dave. You lost your mind. Don't even appear on camera anymore.
It's really sad because Meltzer used to be really good. And he
was. But all he kept going back to was WCW days. It's like, this is not WCW.
Well, where's WCW? Here's the question: where's WCW at?
That's right.
Yeah, and one thing that I mentioned to my friends who are, heavily into wrestling, and I said forget about anything that WWE is doing and just do your own damn thing. Just do what you do, and that's putting great matches on and do your own thing. Don't worry about what's going on that's where WCW fucked up too. Like, if you just handle your stuff, if you just handle your product, everything will take care of itself. Don't worry about the other product and what they're doing and trying to mix in with them. Just handle your stuff. Handle your product and put out the best product that you can with all because they have a shit ton of great talents here. So
I mean, I talked to Jim today on X, messaging back and forth. I know how he feels about it. And he's not happy. He's not happy with it.
He's a CM Punk guy. So of course I know Jim. And I can't wait to talk to him about it on air. I'd like to. Sometimes I'll message him on things, but sometimes I like to get his reaction in real time. And that's
so that wasn't the only thing that happened on AEW. Will Ospreay took off on Triple H. Right after the Bucks came on. What are you doing, Tony? You don't go off on Triple H. It only makes,
like I said, just handle your product. Hey, we're not go the old WWE route. Sometimes that works where we're not even going to mention it. Like, we're not going to worry about that. We're going to handle our business. And you would think guys like who are there, Bryan Danielson and Edge,
Jericho and those guys.
Jericho.
We're
not doing this. Yeah,
I think the Young Bucks are running that company because I think this was a Young Bucks
straight into the ground. Are they supplying TK with his cocaine? Because that's the only way.
Know. How the hell could the Young Bucks talk him into doing this? I think that's what's going on.
I was just looking at it. Inside the Ropes is reporting that a lot of the talent has been meeting with Tony all day and exploring options after their contracts are up.
Well, they know. I mean, how's Mercedes Moné, right. Sasha Banks? How does she feel now? She just signed a contract there, and all of a sudden, a month later, she's become cold and stale in terms of storylines and direction. How does she feel? She should have went back to WWE and took a lesser contract.
Yep.
She'd be much happier where she is. But
all right, let's get into our. We'll get into our top 10 list. I got to re-look mine up. I wrote it down and then I left it at work. But
I read that too. The Bucks never wanted to show that footage.
I think that's baloney.
You think so?
I don't think that.
This seemed like the Bucks type of thing to do. It just did. The way they've been acting on camera lately, it just seemed like that they were like, okay, we'll do it. We'll be the faces of it. So
rough.
All right, let's get into it. Tonight's rankings are none other than the best first number one overall picks in the NFL. The draft is 2 weeks' time away. So we are listing out our 10 best number one overall picks of all time. Sam, we'll start off with you.
Okay. All right. I kind of like you did, Nick. This is kind of like a little before my lifetime, but I still remember things and, of course, like watching NFL history and stuff like that. But my number 10 is Jim Plunkett. Had a great last 8 years with the Raiders, got 2 Super Bowls out of it. The Stanford Indian himself, Jim Plunkett, number 10 for me.
Who drafted him, by the way?
Who drafted him?
The New England Patriots. The New England Patriots.
Did they really?
Yeah, they did. He played for the Patriots before he went to the Raiders.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Nobody remembers his time in New England. They only remembers time with the Raiders. That's the strange part. A lot of these guys, nobody remembers. Like my number 10, the first professional football pick of all time, Jay Berwanger, 1936. I read a lot of stuff on him today because I was going through this. I was like, I did NFL draft picks, NBA, all that other stuff. But he was really good at the time. There was a lot of what we see in football today is a lot of passing. What football was back then, besides the leather helmets, was a lot of running the football. And he was one of the pioneers of running the football and where the NFL was until like 1985. He was drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles in 1936. So if you're the first ever of any sport, you kind of should be someplace around the top 10. So, and that was when I was 2 years old.
Wow,
watching the
NFL. My number 10 guy. So you guys know I like to do my list of people I've seen. So I always like to try to get into people I've seen. My number 10 guy is his career is really just starting. but I had to put him on here because of what he's done already in his short-term time career. And that is none other than the number 1 draft pick in 2020, Mr. Joey Burrow.
Oh, wow.
To do it in his short-term career, to take the Bengals, the shitty-ass Bengals, to the Super Bowl. He's been a Pro Bowler already. Give me Joey Burrow as my number 10.
Wow, that's kind of low for you, Nick. That's kind of low for you, Nick. I thought he'd be like number 3 or 2.
No.
He made the bungle. He turned the Bungles into Bengals. That's what
exactly. To do what he's done there in Cincinnati and to give that team in that city, I had to number 10, and I'm okay with so again, we're talking 30 years here, for 40 years.
Yeah.
So Scott, we'll go to you for number 9.
Number 9, I'll go back to 2011. Cam Newton, Carolina Panthers. I think when Cam was coming out of Auburn, I think there was a lot of hype on him, and for the first couple of years, he delivered on that hype. He got the Panthers to a Super Bowl. Didn't go well, but he got him there, and he was one of the, along with Michael Vick, one of the first running quarterbacks in the NFL. So a guy like that who was transcendent, and then he played up here in New England, and a lot of people talk about what he wears, press conferences and walking into the stadium, but for on the football field, he was a monster for 2 or 3 years in Carolina.
Couldn't stop him.
Couldn't stop him. So Cam Newton is my number 9.
I think what haunts him, I think, with me is him just not diving on that ball. It sits right in the forefront of my mind. And I know it
probably haunt him for the rest of his life. You know what I mean?
Right. Because
it's almost like the coach said, "Hey, Cam." Yeah, it's almost like the coach said, "Hey, Cam, if there's a fumble on the field, don't dive and get it. We need you healthy."
Oh.
And he just watched it and watched Denver pick it up. So,
yeah. Sam, who's your number 9?
Number 9. This is one of my favorite 4-year stints. He was a player on the Buffalo Bills in one of those 4. In that 4-year Super Bowl. And he was really great. If you guys watch that documentary, The Four Falls of Super Bowl of the Buffalo.
Yeah.
I fell in love with him because I loved his candor. And he added a whole lot of insight. But Bruce Smith.
I got him way higher than. He is up on my list.
Oh, I understand. He is absolutely terrific. I really enjoyed that documentary, and I probably could have him lower, but man, just looking through this entire list, I had a hard time. So I'll put Bruce Smith there and get yelled at for it later.
Why? Bruce Smith was a defensive menace to every team he played. When you were a quarterback in the line of scrimmage, first guy in Buffalo, the first guy you look for was Bruce Smith and where he was. So
yeah,
I think it's a great pick.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, I have him higher. I have him higher on my list. That's how good I think Bruce Smith is. My number 9 guy, like Alan said, he's got him as number 10 is Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett, Pro Bowl number 1 overall draft pick in 2017. And he has made the Pro Bowl 2018, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. And he should have been Defensive Player of the Year.
He should have.
Either this year or so Myles Garrett is my number 9. Sam, we'll go back to you. Your number 8.
My number 8, his career was cut way too short. Bo Jackson. My goodness. You want to talk about one of the most fascinating people to watch play the game and then go and play baseball and do well at that. He was one of those first dual players, and he was just absolutely terrific. And that hip injury just ruined everything.
Yeah.
You always have to wonder what if with Bo Jackson, because
the thing about Bo is he was All-American, like great at anything he ever did physically. Like, and now he's like a super great bow hunter, like like shooting bows. Like he was he was insane. Baseball, football, anything that Bo wanted, he was just one of one special athlete. So Scott, who's your number 8?
now known as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, when he was drafted in 1969, Lou Alcindor of the Bucks. In his rookie year,
we're doing football, Scott. We were doing football.
Whoa, I'm doing all around. I'm an all-around guy.
My whole list is all of football.
Yeah, I got baseball, basketball, and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
He's altering the deal. Pray he doesn't alter it further.
Well, these are all number one picks, so it's not like it's not.
No, it's all good.
Yeah,
I just did all football. I thought we were doing all NFL since it was the NFL draft.
Yeah, he averaged 28.8 points per game and 14 rebounds in his rookie season in the NBA as a number one draft pick.
Yeah, I didn't know. I mean, Lou Alcindor, Kareem, yeah, he's one of the top 5 best great. I mean,
you don't do it.
Yeah, I like it.
You just don't as a rookie, so he's my number 8.
He was a great co-pilot in Airplane too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you tell your dad.
my number 8 is none other than the 2009 NFL pick, first overall pick, Matthew Stafford, out of Georgia, Pro Bowl 2014, 2023 Super Bowl champion. I mean, he's going to the Hall of Fame. Actually, all the passing stats. Was on a lot of bad Lions teams. Finally gets with the Rams. But Matthew Stafford is number 8. Scott, we'll go to you, number 7.
As much as I hate to say this, my number 7 is Eli Manning.
Ooh.
He won 2 Super Bowls against the Patriots. People, I don't know how many people remember or whatever, but he was drafted by the Chargers, and him and Phillip Rivers were traded on draft night 1-4 for each other. And he went to New York, and nobody thought he could perform in New York like he did. And he's just a top 10 in passing yards. He won 2 Super Bowls one against the undefeated Patriots team. The other was against the Patriots too. But he just transcended New York into a football town. And the Giants weren't on the map until Eli got there, so to speak. So, they were gone for 10 years. And then Eli came and they got back into prominence. So that's my number 7 is Eli Manning.
Yeah, no, I got him right around that spot too.
I hated that trade. I hated that trade during the draft because I was sitting there like, this is so pretentious.
Don't forget it was his father.
He refused to go to San Diego.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going.
Didn't want him to. His father basically told him, "You're not signing with San Diego."
That's a bad organization. He didn't want him to be like his son, like him, play for a bunch of years on a shitty ass teams.
Exactly.
Well, listen, Papa Archie. There's stories. Peyton Manning told a story where he didn't want to sign an autograph. It was his rookie year. I don't remember who he lost to, but he was mad about it. And he walked by these kids, and he didn't even look at them or whatever else. And Archie followed him all the way down the hall and grabbed his arm and turned him around. And he goes, I don't care what kind of game you've had or what kind of feeling you're feeling right now. Those are the fans. And you will go out there and sign autographs because you're not letting yourself look bad. You're letting the family look bad. And he chewed him.
Yeah.
And it was like Peyton said, it had been a while since I had gotten a talking to like that. But yeah, Archie runs that house. So,
Oh yeah. Who's 7 for you, Sam?
Which number is this? 7? Yeah.
7.
Yeah, 7. I have I'm sorry, Troy Aikman. No, that's the wrong one. John Elway. I have John Elway at number 6.
All right, so number 6 is Troy Aikman then.
Yes.
Number 7. Oh, Sam, I am interested on the rest of your list here.
I know.
No, Troy's a little lower than that, actually. I'm sorry.
I mean, you got Elway at 7.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah. My number 7 is
I only have him up there because I don't like his well teeth.
My number 7 guy, and Sam named earlier, the 1986 number 1 overall draft pick, Bo Jackson out of Auburn, Heisman Trophy winner in 1985, the 1990 Pro Bowl. I mean, we've said all we need to say about Bo Jackson already. Sam, I'm interested in your number 6.
I know this has to be Aikman.
Okay. No, I screwed up the order, so this is my bad. But My number 6 is Earl Campbell. I think he is absolutely one of the best guys to ever run the football, period.
Yep.
I've watched that footage of that jersey disintegrate more times than I can count. And I think he probably, during that reign, had to be the hardest runner I've ever seen. Like, just unbelievable. We talk about, like, how beast mode would, like, look out for contact and beat it. So did he. Boy, he hit so hard. So Earl Campbell, number 6.
Number 6.
My number 6 is Terry Bradshaw.
Woo! Yeah.
People
You go wrong with that.
forget
4-time Super Bowl. Yeah.
He was the 4-time Super Bowl champion
Really
for
good
an
singer, by the way.
organization that was feared in the 70s. You had Lynn Swann, Stallworth, Mean Joe Green, and the
Franco.
guy that Franco, and the guy that triggered it all was Terry Bradshaw. And nobody remembers he was the number 1 draft pick, but
No, because he
was.
sat. I believe he sat for a few years before they played him.
They were
did,
so the people were so mean about his intelligence. He was
him and the Steelers organization did not talk or do anything together.
What's up,
for,
Triple B?
I'd say about 15 to 20 years. What's up, beautiful?
Hey, beautiful.
For 15 to 20 years, Terry Bradshaw and the Steelers organization had bad blood.
Yeah, they were mad at each other.
For what reason? I think it was small reasons. I don't remember, but it was small. But he's a Pittsburgh Steelers legend. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yes.
I think he's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the history of the NFL, because you forget, number 1, he won 4 Super Bowls, but then when you rank out when you rank Terry Bradshaw, you're like, oh, you could probably rank 20 guys before him, but he's got more Super Bowls than over half of them. You know what I mean?
The NFL was different.
There's only
these people.
two guys that Montana and Brett are the only guys that are ahead of. You know what I mean? Tied with.
Yeah, and if you threw for 300 passing yards in those days, you had a really great game. Whereas today, if you throw for 300, it's just an average game. So
that's a normal game.
That's normal now.
I will tell you, when the draft was in Nashville, he was down near the stadium talking to people and whatnot. He couldn't be more friendly. He was
great guy. He was a great guy.
He was throwing footballs to us, everything. It was
what
great.
you see on TV is what he is in real life.
Oh yeah. Now he had his handler with him, but
yeah,
we can't let you walk off.
My number 6 is the 2004 number 1 overall pick out of Ole Miss, Eli Manning. Scott mentioned it. Scott said it earlier, the 2 Super Bowls, but 2008 Pro Bowl, 2011 Pro Bowl, 2012 Pro Bowl, 2015 Super Bowl, 2-time Super Bowl MVP, future Hall of Famer, Eli Manning. Scott, we'll go to you. Number 5.
My number 5 is the late, great O.J. Simpson of the Buffalo Bills when he was drafted.
On his death day.
On his death day, yeah. He changed the running back position in the NFL when he came into the league. USC graduate. He was an angry runner. Teams game planned against him, and they still could not stop him. And to me, when that happens, you're one of the greatest running backs in history. So to me, O.J. Simpson was really good. He could be higher, but I saw he played the Patriots
before my time.
Yeah,
so
before he
the only time I saw O.J. run was in a Bronco. So that's the only time I saw him.
and in the Hertz rental car commercials through the airport. So
yeah.
I do love those Naked Gun movies.
Unfortunately, he didn't end his career in Buffalo, which is a shame. He ended in San Francisco, which should never have happened. So
No.
That would. There's a lot of things with OJ's life.
Oh yeah. He's taking a lot of secrets to the grave with him for sure. So,
Sam, you're number 5.
So this is where I was supposed to put. Elway, and I messed it up. So that's my bad. But Stafford, I had Stafford. I mixed up those two. Stafford is
sure he did, Scott.
Sam, when you do a list, you put number 10 and then you put the name.
Yeah, I know. I did it on my phone, and it was just bad.
You just made the list.
Yeah, you just made the list.
You
You know what? You're on the list, Scott. You're on the list. Anyway, but I will say this for Matthew Stafford, there will always be like a special place, I think, in a lot of sports fans' heart for a guy that stuck it out with a bad team for so long and still would just be up and up and up in the stats over and over again. I think there's always, except if you're that asshole that played for the Chargers for years, Phillip Rivers. I hate that man. I hate him. But yeah, Matthew Stafford, that guy, I remember when they had him mic'd up and you would hear him just directing people around or whatnot. And of course, the fake spike jump over into the end zone. Amazing. I'm glad. I am really happy for him that he got his Super Bowl ring. I'm very happy.
Agreed. My number 5 is the 1997 number 1 overall pick out of Ohio State, one of the best tackles to ever play the game, Orlando Pace. Orlando Pace, Pro Bowl 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2005, into the Hall of Fame. Obviously, won the Super Bowl with Rams. There is no fastest show on earth without the best tackle in the game, Pace. He changed the culture of that program once they got here to St. Louis. I mean, Orlando Pace. I think he was actually the first pick ever of the Rams, like St. Louis.
I think
huge.
That's correct.
Yeah, he was
huge for Orlando Pace. You know, I have Orlando.
Skip me because I also have Orlando Pace there. So you can skip me. I agree.
At 4? At 4?
At 4. I have him at 4.
Okay, Scott, who's your number 4?
Earl Campbell. What he did to his body, because when you see him now, he's in a wheelchair and he can't move, and what he did to his body to make the Houston Oilers and Bum Phillips, the organization that they were on the field, is insane. If you watch his games, he's running over guys, he's running to contact. He's getting his shirt ripped, running down the sideline. The guy could not be tackled easily. You had to wrap him up with 2 guys, not one. With one guy, he'd break right through it. So to me, Earl Campbell's my number 4.
My number 4 is none other than the 1989 number 1 overall pick out of UCLA, Troy Aikman. I mean, Pro Bowl 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. Super Bowl, 3-time Super Bowl champion, as we know, 3 and 4 years, Super Bowl MVP, into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2006, is none other than the guy we listen to every Monday Night Football. Troy Aikman is my number 4. Scott, we'll go to you. Number 3.
Troy Aikman. I mean, everybody talks about Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin in Dallas. Well, who triggered the ball? Who threw it to Michael Irvin? Who threw it to Jay Novacek? Who threw it to Alvin Harper? It was that guy. And if you think his career was over when he retired, he's a better broadcaster now than he was a quarterback in the NFL. I think he's probably the top analyst in football right now for me. Troy Aikman was I think he was Jimmy Johnson's first draft pick in Dallas.
He was.
And what a draft pick he turned out to be. And that was all because of the Herschel Walker trade. So,
well, they were 0-16, or they only won like 1 game with Tom Landry before they were the worst team in the league.
Yeah, and then Jerry came in and he fired, not fired, but he asked Tom Landry to leave and brought in Jimmy Johnson, and they took off.
Off we go. Bye, Herschel Walker.
Yeah,
but Alan, you weren't even barely Troy Aikman was playing, so that's why we got Troy a little higher. So we're a little older. You know, Scott's way older, but I'm a little older.
Hey.
A little older.
What Jello?
Sam, who's your number 3?
Now I have Myles Garrett down here. I really wish I put Bruce Smith, but I Myles Garrett's not done by a long shot. And
that's why I got him. That's why I have him lower, because his career's not done. But I felt like he needed to be on the list.
No, I totally agree. I have him on mine too.
Joe Burrow, they could either, and really they could fall off the list in another 5 if they're, especially Joe Burrow. Like if he doesn't do anything the next 4 years, and somebody, then he would fall off my list.
But Myles Garrett is just so consistently good every single year. He's gonna pass so many marks and so many records, it's not even funny. If he stays on this trajectory so far, I have no reason to doubt that he won't. So I have him down here. I also I love defensive linemen. They're like my favorite. I freaking love them. But I have him at number 3.
My number 3 guy is the 1985 number 1 overall pick out of Virginia Tech, and that was Bruce Smith from the Buffalo Bills. I mean, Pro Bowl 87, 88, 89, 90, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98. Winter Force was the anchor, and I think it was right up there as top 10 sacks as well. I mean, Bruce Smith was that dude. Unfortunately, he didn't finish his career in Buffalo. Finished it in Washington. But my number 3 is Bruce Smith. So actually, I didn't really meet him, but I kind of was close to him. He was at an Old Dominion basketball game that I was at.
Wow.
So that was.
Where's Old Dominion located, by the way?
Palm Beach, Virginia Beach, Virginia. That's where he's from.
Okay.
Sam, you're number 2.
My number 2 is Peyton Manning. What can you say? That guy outsmarted everybody, outplayed everybody. Sometimes he would disappear in the playoffs and drive us all crazy. Got his 2 Super Bowls, even though the second one was mostly the defense. But I mean, the amount of what he could do, the study. And I remember guys would ask him after he retired, how did you know I was going to do this? And he would always say, your feet gave it away. And just stunningly crazy stuff that he would only see, that he would only pick up on. Amazing to me. Absolutely amazing.
Him and Eric talks about it one time. Well, 6 years ago, I remember playing this defense, like the recall. I can't remember what I did fucking last week, much less the recall of a game from 6 years ago. And like they'll have that recall, and that's like Peyton Manning has that too. Like I remember 6 years ago they did this blitz and this, that, and that's how I knew they were going to run this play from 6 fucking years ago. The fuck are you like? I need to get on some ayahuasca because my memory is fucking shitty. So. I can't remember shit. My kids are like, Dad, you remember that? Fuck, I don't remember. No, I don't remember that. No.
I remember his reign of. I remember his stranglehold he had on the AFC South, and it just made any victory you could get with him like so much sweeter because he would there was just nothing you could do, and I remember. Jeff Fisher talking, he goes, it's Colts week, and they would change everything in their notebook to try to just stop it, and he would eat him up. He would eat him up. It took Albert Hainsworth and Kyle Vanden Bosch to finally stop him. That's what it took, which is absolutely insane.
Scott, you number 2?
John Elway. I mean, when you think of the Denver Broncos, the first name that really pops in your head is John Elway. And it would have been a shame if he won the Super Bowl his last 2 years. He carried those teams. A lot of those teams that got in the playoffs and lost in the AFC Championship.
First 4 Super Bowls, he was carried. He carried them. You know what I mean?
Yes, he did.
He went to 6 Super Bowls. Elway went to 6 Super Bowls. Now he was 2 of them. But those first 4 were bad. They were bad Bronco team.
Yes,
and they were. Nobody ever brings him up as a top 3 to 5 quarterback in NFL.
They really don't.
But I will.
No.
He's a top 5 quarterback in NFL history. Not because he won the 2 Super Bowls, because of what he did for that organization.
And at that time, he was one of the most athletic quarterbacks there was. Too. This guy was the first number 1 overall pick in football too. People forget that, how athletic he was. You know what I mean? So
I remember the helicopter. That's the first thing that enters my mind is him spinning.
Oh yeah.
Before Terrell Davis came to Denver, before a couple other running backs came to Denver, it was John Elway, Rod Smith, and Shannon Sharp was up in Denver too, and people forget that as well.
Yeah, Fred McCaffrey.
Yep. So John Elway's my number 2.
Yeah, I got John Elway number 2 too, Scott. Right there at 1983, number 1 overall draft pick out of Stanford. Really, he was drafted by the Colts and then traded to the Broncos. It was a similar situation to Eli. Refused to go wasn't going to play for the Colts. And just so for clarification, Pro Bowl in 86, 87, 89, 91, 93, 94, 96, 97, 98. Made it to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. 2 Super Bowl wins. Was NFL MVP in 7, Super Bowl MVP as well. And then he did have the 4 losses as well. I mean, one of those losses, I mean, they were two of my was to the maybe 2 of them were to the 49ers. One of them was to the 49ers. One was to the
got blown out. The first 3 Super Bowls he was in, I think they got blown out.
They did bad, yeah, they did
badly. And one was to San Francisco.
Huh.
So one was to the Giants, Giants first Super Bowl.
Yeah, in the AFC it was Marino and Elway. Those were the only two quarterbacks in the AFC that you really could say were really good in the AFC.
Yeah. That was during that run from like the 80s to the Broncos, Packers. The NFC won every Super Bowl.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And he was a part of that along with Jim Kelly and a couple other guys. So
yeah. Sam, we'll go to you. I think me and Scott have the same number 1. I want to see what your number 1 is first.
Probably sure. Okay. This is where I've put Aikman, and part of it's sentimental because my grandpa was everybody down here was a Cowboys fan. We didn't have a professional team, It was we were all Cowboys fans for the most part. And I remember, like, as a kid, wondering why, like, I thought he knew Troy Aikman as a little kid. You know what I mean? Like, he would be like, Troy, what are you doing? Like, he'd always be on a first name basis. And you're like, God, is he going to yell at Troy? Like, is he whatever? But he would always
Troy.
Attaboy Troy or anything like that. And, but, like, when you really looked over that career, like Scott said, who was the guy delivering the ball to all those players, and how he never got the label of being a malcontent, even though there were some coaches he did not like it. He was pretty vocal about. And I felt like
he was malcontents on his team doing cocaine and a bunch of other crazy shit,
stabbing people with scissors and all that.
What I remember about him is he was the most vocal when Jimmy Johnson got fired by Jerry Jones.
Yeah,
he was the guy that said this was a huge mistake, Jerry. Don't be doing this. And sure enough, it was. So,
yeah. So I like Troy there, but that is very much a sentimental reason why I have to.
Scott, who's your number 1?
My number 1 is John Cena. He was the first ever. No, I'm just
kidding. Wait, John Cena or the Doctor of Thugonomics?
No, it was John Cena at the time, I think.
Okay.
Peyton Manning. He told Indianapolis flat out, if you don't pick me, I'm going to come back and I'm going to torture you and I'm going to make your lives live in hell. And that was enough for the Colts to take him. And as you saw, after his rookie year, we threw all those picks. He was probably the best quarterback for could be a decade. He was the standard bearer. I mean, I remember he came that Monday night game against Tampa when he was down by 21 points in the fourth quarter, came all the way back, tied it, won in overtime. I mean, those are just the things that Peyton Manning did as a quarterback, and he made subpar coaches much, much better because of his quarterback play on the field. Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne didn't hurt either, and Dallas Clark didn't hurt either for him. So, Peyton Manning's my number 1. I think he's the best overall number 1 draft pick in NFL history, in my mind. Yeah,
could be.
Yep. And Nick's frozen.
Oh, he gone. Gone now.
Nick is tired. Nick.
You know what I hate, Scott? Those Green Bay Packers. God,
those damn Nick Brockins of Brett Favre.
Who wears keys on their heads? It's so stupid.
I know. Oh. I'm glad they're going to Brazil. They deserve.
I hope they move. I hope they move to Brazil. They can get a decent runway. How about that?
So my assumption is Nick's number 1 is Peyton Manning as well.
I would assume that Nick's number 1 is Peyton Manning.
Here he is.
Oh, Dad, that asshole's back. Oh, God, help me.
God damn it. I thought we were going to close the show.
I'm sorry. I was trying. It wouldn't load. Oh, there he is. Hey, Nick. How you doing?
I don't know what happened there. They want to give me my number 1 list. My number 1 is none other than Peyton Manning. I mean, Peyton, the number 1 overall draft pick out of Tennessee in 1998. I mean, Pro Bowl 99, 2000, 2002, 2003,
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
The internet strikes back.
That's the show, folks. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll be
Next week we'll be talking about the top 10
champion, Super Bowl MVP, NFL MVP, 03, 04, 05, 08, and 09, and 13.
Hey Nick, before Sam goes, do you think Johnny Cruz's top 10 number ones would have been all Miami Dolphins?
Who, Johnny's?
Yes,
possibly. Yeah.
Dan Marino was number one, all-time number one draft.
Man.
Well, Sam was number one. Troy Aikman.
Yeah, I picked Troy.
Oh,
yeah.
That was for sentimental.
Yeah. No, that's all good. Before we get up out of here, my internet cuts out again. Sam, other than your birthday on Monday, what do you go on, guy?
Tomorrow I've got Fanboy Unleashed. We're gonna show off our mock drafts and see what we get. Maybe call them stupid or whatnot. Go around the league and notice how anybody really has no idea what the Titans are going to do. But Mel Kiper seems to think so. He doesn't. And then Saturday is Inside the Mat with me and Alan. We're going to recap the Raw after Mania and the SmackDown after Mania. Should be fun. I'm ready for a new feud. I think it's going to be Logan and LA Knight, but who really knows? We'll figure out. And then we'll be talking about the upcoming not only the draft in the NFL, but the draft in SmackDown and Raw as well, and where they might stick people. So,
Sam, I saw your mock draft. It's stupid that you selected the Titans have a safety from Coastal Carolina in the first round.
Hey, Coastal Carolina, they need dogs. They don't need no cats. You know what I mean? Best
Scott,
ever.
Any final thoughts? And Scott, who we betting on the Masters?
Yeah,
I took Hideki Matsuyama, and that's not working out too well. I did take first round leader Bryson DeChambeau at 35-1. He's leading right now. They suspended the Masters, so I'll find out tomorrow if that comes through. I took top senior golfer Phil Mickelson. And he's at 2 under, I think. And I took Tiger to make the cut, just as a sentimental pick. I took Tiger to make a cut. So, and he's 1 under right now, so he's got a shot to make it. So, and yes, we are Alan. So if you want to do it 6 o'clock, that's fine. In terms of final thoughts, shout out to Johnny. Shout out, hopefully he's doing well. Again, OJ Simpson passed away.
He's doing all right.
Good. OJ Simpson passed away last night of cancer.
Yep.
It's a bad disease. We all know that firsthand from Dan. But it's an awful disease. Man had a lot of secrets he took with him to the grave. I mean, that's a lot of secrets. I'd be interested to see if a book comes out or something, or his kids write a book on him or whatever. But
find a journal or tape or something.
Yeah. But great running back, great football player, great Hertz rent-a-car spokesman. And everybody forgets Naked Gun movies. He was in the Naked Gun movies. He was funny as hell in the Naked Gun movies. So
you remember when the babies got launched through the air at the mall and he was like catching them all? Oh my gosh. He tried to spike one and somebody stopped him.
Remember the wheelchair that went down the top of the stadium?
Yeah.
He was down the top of the stadium right over the railing. Oh, he was funny in those.
That mall scene when all the bad things happened all at once, and then oh no, it's the disgruntled postal workers.
but rest in peace.
I don't know about rest in peace. I don't really know about.
But we all know where he's going. So
yeah. I mean, I would say to me, like the OJ, that might have been one of the most polarizing people, of the last 20, 30 years. Like that case alone, I think if you're of a certain age, I'm me and Sam, that's like our childhood, right? The OJ case, people talked about it in school. We were like in junior high, and people were there was no internet at the time, so everybody raced home at 5 o'clock news to happen at the OJ case, and just all the stuff. So it was just a wild.
I was in my 20s and I was watching the Knicks Rockets NBA Finals game when that chase was on.
They cut to the chase.
Yeah, wasn't that Dan Patrick, right? What Dan?
No, it was Bob Costas.
Okay.
Was the guy doing NBA at the time.
Yeah.
And then I watched the whole trial. The trial was on, we had court TV up here. It was on court TV. I watched the whole trial. How they got that man on, I will never, ever know how they got him off. But they did. They did.
Johnny Cochran, baby.
Johnny Cochran.
Quit.
Yeah, if the glove don't, he must have quit. There's a great mini series that FX put out a couple years ago. Cuba Gooding Jr. plays OJ. It's really good mini series. So if you haven't watched that, check it out. But me and Whit did head kicks and haymakers last night. We previewed UFC 300, top to bottom cards. It's the best card in UFC. You could almost say UFC history. We made every pick on the card. I'm going to be sitting down Saturday night for that one. So please check that out. If we give out on our picks, our dogs on the card, locks on the card. So it's going to be a banger on Saturday night, UFC 300. So I'll be picking up that. Other than that, I am taking tomorrow. I'm headed to my first NBA game. We're going down to Memphis, catching the Grizzlies versus the Lakers. So I told you guys for his birthday last week, and to this week, if tomorrow we're headed down there. So my first NBA game, get to experience that. Have never been to an NBA game, and be my first time. So.
Avoid Ja Morant at all costs. That's my only advice.
We'll be back Monday night with Jim Behringer talking this AEW stuff and some hockey. It's about to kick off as well, and Jonathan with some baseball stuff, all the good stuff. So be a friend, folks. Like, subscribe, share. We'll see you back Monday night, 8 o'clock Central, 9 Eastern for another great episode of Let's Talk Sports Show. Real quick, Sunday night, 7 o'clock on the Let's Talk Sports Show, Let's Talk Sports Show on YouTube. I'm going to have Fresh from the Real Fresh channel will be joining me on the Bodkin show. So tune in for that one out as well. So
Tanner has given Nick's budget for guests on his show huge. This is a John Queen's budget.
Baby. That's all your boy book. I'm doing my own booking. I'm doing everything I can. So
he blew it on Nikki Kist is what he did.
Yeah,
I don't blame him.
To be honest with you.
I wouldn't stop him.
Be a tough and like, subscribe, share. We'll see you Monday night.
Maybe it was you, maybe it was me, but it all felt right.
Thanks so much for joining us, and until next time, let's talk sport, friends. Thanks for watching.
Whoo! Love it. My brother made this for me with his 3D printer. Yeah. Oh, it's just he's got like a black and white thing of LA Knight. He's got a red vest on and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, he got this 3D printer and he started just like printing off a ton of stuff. And next thing I know, it's do you want this? And I'm like, you're a madman. Okay, take it easy. Like it's gonna be all right. But he's printed me off some pretty cool stuff.
Oh, we're still live, Sam. You didn't hit the end stream.